With Phrankleen. If you're watching this as a playback, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you've not subscribed, don't forget to smash the subscribe button if you like what I'm about. And if you do smash on the subscribe button, hit on that little bell button, all right? And select the all option so you're notified when I'm online, all right? So let's see who is online, man. What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? If you can hear me, you can see me, hit the like. Give me a thumb up, man. What's up, Esther Project? Yeah. What's going on? Relene did a uke, I think. Tiffany, KK. Yeah. Apologies. I was meant to have a live stream on Friday, but how's the cafe? What's going on, wonderful people? How's your weekend going? So yeah, I just got caught up doing stuff. Thank you, Mr. Sheila himself. On Friday, so it's a bit of a setback. So I thought I'd come online today. Bukoni. So yeah, as I said, if this is your first time stopping by or you're watching this as a playback, this is a segment we call Say It Like It Is. You know, people send me their stories to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. If you have any stories to send to me, look in the description below. You find my email address. You can bang me your stories. If it's something we can learn from, you know. KK said, how can we send you money for support? Good question. You can do the super chat whilst we're here, or if you look in the description below, you should see a link to my, I think my PayPal. And if you got Cash App, it's just the £sterling sign, then Phrankleen. Pound, which is like the E sign, you know, that £sterling sign, and then Phrankleen, like it's spelled on my channel. That's Cash App. And then I think if you look in the description of this video, you'll find a link to my PayPal, so you can support me via those means. But thank you for asking. I appreciate it. You know, even if you don't support monetarily, if you watch my video, you hit on the like button, you share the video, I appreciate you all the same. All right, everyone is loved equally. So what's going on, people? I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. So let's crack on with this. So the story, thank you, Amy. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. The story came from a woman that watches my channel. This one is like really hot. It's an ongoing issue. Okay. Kind of similar to, for those who have been watching me for a minute, the story time is kind of similar to, you know, something I've done in the past. But the reason I come back with these stories is the moment it offers me like a sort of like a fresh perspective, a fresh angle to learn something from, I just say, why not? Let's talk about it. If one person learns something from this story, that's the premise. You know, we emancipate ourselves, we get better, you know, one step at a time, we get towards Black excellence. So, these couple, now pay attention to this. Pay attention to this, particularly those of you that may be watching from outside of the jurisdiction of the West. You are in the motherland, or those of you who are in the West, you're in the diaspora, you got families, siblings, or people contemplating and coming abroad, and all that stuff. Please, I ask of you respectfully, share this video with them. Give it to them in your mini WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups. Let them watch it. Let them dialogue. Let them ask questions. If they want to inbox Phrankleen, they can come to me. All right? I'll do my best to, you know, answer their questions. Now, so these couple, right? Nigerians, I'm just going to tell you off the jump. They met back home and all that. Now, both couples were not doing bad. And again, the premise of these story time is the huge misconception about life abroad, okay? the huge misconception which is affecting a lot of our people. Hey, Alonga baby, what's going on, man? What's up? Good to see you, Alonga baby. Thank you for the constant support. I appreciate you. Grace, hey, Udiak, your videos inspire me more than the Bible. I swear. Keep up the good work. Thank you for the super chat. Salute. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, anyways, the couples met back in Nigeria, right? And they they both had good jobs. Now, pay attention to this. Like I said, this is about the huge misconception about life abroad. It's part of the colonial damage that's deeply rooted in the African society, and it's killing us every day. I'll explain. So, the husband and wife, the husband, according to the email from this woman, said at the time before they left Nigeria, said every calendar month, she didn't tell me specifically where her husband works. You know, I really don't need to know that, but she said monthly, his main salary and added extras in his place of work, the sector he was working at, he would bring home about 1 million, 1.2 million. Sometimes in a month, 950,000 naira. She was working somewhere else. In the sector that she was working, she would bring in, averagely in a month, she would bring in about 400, 450,000. And she did say that at some point, she started, somebody's saying, how much is that in pounds? Good question. Let me see. 1.2, well, million naira. Bear in mind, I'm using the exchange rate as it is as at today. You know, if you divide that by, say, is it 7, I'm not sure, is it 715? That's about, well, 1,678 pounds. That's using, the current exchange rate. But bear in mind, back home, they don't have to pay rent monthly or mortgage, except if you have a mortgage, but they were renting and all that. But the lady said, this is what I'm trying to say. There's environmental differences. If you're getting 1 million or whatever plus, if you don't have a crazy lifestyle, I think it's a reasonable amount of money. And at the time, they had just one child. She said her husband had an official car, right? So petrol and all that stuff was catered for by the organization that he was working for. So the long and short is they were not doing bad. Now, if you can see me, you can hear me, smash the like button, please. So the wife said before the idea of traveling abroad came up, on the side, she was earning like 400, 450,000, sometimes 500,000, depending on the nature of the job. Some people, depending on how far up in ranks they are, where they work, they tend to get extra monies coming in, which you might not be able to do if you live in abroad. Nigeria, the environment is different. Some of them, they might be civil servants. They might be in a particular organization, maybe the banking sector. They might have well-to-do clients in their portfolio, whereby when they get all the extras in the month, when you add it up, it puts a lot more bread in your pocket. That's exactly what I'm trying to explain. So anyways, wife said before they traveled, she started a business of producing, what do you call it now? Like these sort of chemicals that they use in commercial premises to like clean offices, bathrooms and toilets, those type of like washing up liquids and stuff like that. Yeah. She went into that type of business on the side. She said one of our cousins basically who has a knowledge in that sector basically let her in on the game and trained her and gave her the insight. So she felt she could push it. So because she was working in a particular sector, she started mixing up, these chemicals and packaging them in like jerry cans. These are like kegs, 5 liter kegs, and all that, which are usually the primary targets are like commercial premises. And of course, you could sell it to homes, schools, and and stuff like that, commercial premises. This woman said she was already making additional 3 to 400,000 naira per month from that particular business, right? It was a small business. She leveraged on a contact. And of course, being someone who's religious, they go to church, and she was able to leverage on the traffic or the crowd from their church. So she was able to tap into that, let people know, you would know somebody that has a business and stuff. And people started buying. So she said in a very good month, she would bring in about 400,000. So said there was a time she started hitting about 600,000 naira a month. So you're bringing in 600,000 naira from the chemical, business, and then you got a salary. She was already in a month. She said sometimes in a month she was bringing in about 1 point something million, which isn't exactly bad, right? Husband too is not doing bad. So if you combine the household income, they were not doing bad at all. Bear in mind, Nigeria is not the UK or the US. They don't have all this. Yes, there is monthly outgoings. You have your outgoings, but there isn't like rent that you have to pay monthly and stuff like that, except you are committed to a mortgage. But she did say they were renting. And they had a parcel of land. She, as a woman, had proposed to her husband. She said he listened, and they had jointly, she said to him, let's join hands to develop a 4-bedroom bungalow. They had commenced work on the foundation. All right. Both of them were pulling funds into the project. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're on the same page. So eventually, it got to a point, the husband, I think he was bitten by the usual bug of, this colonial bug that bites most of us in Africa, right? There was a sense of dissatisfaction. I don't know where the brother's state of mind was at the time. So he was banging on about, we need to migrate abroad. So the wife, hey, what's up, man? What's up? Thank you. Watching from Cheltenham. Shout out to you. Hit the like button if you can hear and see me, please. So anyways, the wife said she was reluctant. Husband came up, we need to relocate. Let's try to get US visa or UK visa, blah, 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 XYZ. She said she was reluctant. She sat with her husband, said, look, man, we can travel, go on holiday, like, let's build, I like that, colonial bug of greed. Let's carry on building our lives, let's be grateful for what we've got. But, of course, she said he kind of bulldozed his way through the conversation. He was banging on about, we'll make a better life. I'm tired of this Nigeria, blah, blah. And she was like, yo. And I've always said that this is one statement that I picked from the email about we can create our own lives, insulate ourselves. Like what we've got, many will kill to have it. That's the woman now, being absolutely reasonable. But of course, our African culture kicks in, which, when I say African culture, let me say this with all due respect. There's a toxic culture, of whereby the man must dominate the woman. It's a toxic culture. I'm a dude, and I'm not afraid to say that. So what tends to happen is when the man wants to have his way, he will find a way through emotional blackmail to get the woman ring-fenced. So especially when he throws out the details into the hands of the in-laws, your parents, religious charlatans, self-proclaimed religious, leaders and stuff. So they ring fence you and they hijack the woman's point of view now to say, oh, you're disrespecting your husband and you have to listen to your husband and and work and work with him. You get it. So 9 out of 10 times the woman tends to be taken aback. You're forced into a corner, and because the society, again, sadly it's the toxic conditioning. The society would see you as basically you have a blatant disregard for your marriage. Oh, you're not being submissive. Thank you. Which is not the case. It's nothing but a template of emotional blackmail and control mechanism. So most women will basically just cave in, and because especially when you're outnumbered, it's worse when you have your own family coming at you, with a double barrel of abuse and shouting at you and asking you, especially if you have your parents at the front line, your dad threatening you with, I'll disown you if you don't do this, don't come back to my house, there's nowhere to run to. Your siblings are telling you, why are you doing this? There's a pastor in the background, there is this and that. Oh, everyone coming at you from every angle, right? But you get the gist. And that's not to drag my brothers in the mud. I'm just stating the obvious. Now, so the woman said she was reluctant. Husband was doggone fixated on let's go abroad and all that. The excuse was, oh, we'll find a better life for our children. She panicked that, looking at their age and all that, hey, what do we know? How are we going to be able to blend into a system that we know nothing about? And then we're going to have to start all over again and all that. Now, another thing to bear in mind is this, with reference to the email. The brother in question, the wife said, he's not much of an academic. And that's not to, make a disparaging comment towards the brother. He's not an academical, or is an academical person. Wife gravitate towards that in that regard. You get. Oh, somebody said, how old are they? Right. At the time of travel, I'll answer that question according to the email. The brother was 41 and the wife 37. So she panicked. And then he just said, oh, we've got to go. He was looking for ways to get into the US. A friend said it was going to help them. And then that kind of let them down. And then he put pressure on the wife now that she should file for a master's degree in the UK to come and do master's degree. So the premise of the plan was she gets into the system, she'll file for him and their only child. And if they get into the UK, you come in as a spouse. And then if they get into the UK, they leverage on that as a family. She can, after completing the master's program, he was convinced that they would be able to magically find their feet and start building their life here in the UK. Now, the lady said at her place of work, she ran this conversation by a friend. So the friend who has a junior sister here in the UK kind of linked them up on WhatsApp. And the junior sister just said, hey, yo, man, with what you've got going for yourselves, back home, you're not doing bad, man. Don't throw everything away. Okay, why don't you just get a visitor's visa, jump on the plane, come over, maximum 4 weeks, come spend like a month, have a feel. It's a short time frame, but at least have a look around, ask questions and all that. The husband was doggone fixated. She was shouted down. She said it got to a point, it became a massive argument. He had gone to brainwash her parents and lied about some things. And so she caved in. Eventually, she caved in. The parents were like, do as your husband has said, blah, 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 and all that. She caved in. And again, for the most part, Traveling abroad, unfortunately, this is what I'm talking about, critical thinking for most of our people back home. When a partner just comes up, or somebody comes up with the idea of traveling abroad, and you just say, no. For the most part, people would look at you like you're crazy. Because why? There's a deeply rooted misconception that the traveling abroad is like it's like winning the lottery. It's like, it's a gateway to success. But I can confidently say traveling abroad is really not a means for everyone that's traveled abroad to make it in life. That's why most folks in our community are struggling abroad. Some are not even designed to come to the West. But you're just going through that rat race on a monthly basis, doing whatever you can to survive. Now, bear in mind, I told you this brother had a good job where he was working. He had an official car. He had a driver. He was doing well. So wife applied for master's degree. They came here to the UK, long and short. They gave them visas and they came here. Now, they had gotten rid of some of the things they've got, brought money, and then they got here, the money will go quickly. Fact only. And they came bang on right at the start of the pandemic. Right at the very start of the pandemic. They landed in the UK. Those that live abroad, you know the impact of the pandemic. Everything ground to a halt. Everything locked down and stuff. Anyway, savings run out, panic set in. So now, wife, I think now has come to the end of the program and all that. Trying to get a job and all that stuff. It's bloody difficult. Bloody difficult. So, like I always say, the reality of the life in the West will slap you in the face. You can operate in denial, dip your head in the sand, and the truth about our community is, all man to their cross, you will carry your cross, particularly here in the West. Everyone's got their bills to pay. Everyone's got their own outgoings. Everyone's got their own children. Everyone's got their own marriage. Everyone's got their own life. Everyone's got their own whatever families back home. They've got their own credit card bills. They've got their own monthly car payments. They've got X, Y, Z to deal with. You get the gist. So you soon realize, if you like, you can cry blood. It's not because people are wicked, but they've got their own limited resources to live off. Facts of life. So if you come in here and you snooker yourself or you put yourself in a predicament, even the nicest of individuals, the most they can do is just give you little change that they can. And then you just have to get on with it. Facts only. The immigration rules are a lot rigid, like they were a decade ago or 5, 10, 6, 7 years ago. Things have changed. The pandemic has destroyed the what do you call it, man? The dynamics of the society, job hunting, job availability. A lot of things have changed. Now, this sister said they settled in, and when funds dried up and all that stuff, yeah, thank you, Clara. They will say it is well. Oh, that statement is prevalent. But as much as I hate that statement, when people say it is well, you know what, man? It is well. Because what else could they possibly say to you? I hate that statement with every fiber in me as a human being, but it is well. Really, what could they say to you? That's your predicament. That's your palaver now. That's your cross to bear. Now, thank you. People born in the West are moving to the continent for a reason. Mind, body, and soul. Absolutely, my sister. So, funds dried up. Now, check this out. Check this out, right? So, reality set in for the husband. he's unable to then blend in here and just, switch lanes. Remember, I told you that he's not an academic person, right? So it's just hard to just say, ta-da, I've lived in the system now. I just come from Nigeria and I'm going to go find a work as IT consultant. He doesn't have that background. Whatever it is he was doing back home, he had it easy. He had a sector that he fitted nicely in. He was making his bread, but greed, the colonial damage to the minds of my brothers and sisters is what's playing out for a lot of people. If you tell them, they will go to war with you. They would call you names. They would make disparaging comments. So somebody like me, I've had people even send me death threats for just trying to enlighten them. I don't control the airports. I'm just saying, do it properly. If you've managed to build something for yourself, don't be quick to discard it because you will regret it. Now, when finance dried up, now, check this out. You know, the woman had the chemical business back home that she was growing, yeah? So in the usual format, she left the chemical business to, I think, a younger sister with the agreement that the younger sister will carry on running the business, take a 25% cut of whatever that comes in monthly and remit the rest of the profit into the bank account. In the usual family, toxic family pattern of doing things, you already know where this is going. Within less than 6 months of moving here, the sister did put some money here, and then before she knew it, stories started coming in. People are not buying the chemicals. Okay, where is the money from these? Arguments started. Eventually, sister cut all communication, blocked her on WhatsApp, blocked her on Facebook, blocked her on Instagram, called her every name. And she said this younger sister wouldn't even have the nerve to have disrespected her if she was on ground. So long and short was, the younger sister, with all the client data, hijacked and stole the business from her sister, who is now trapped here in the UK, right? So she, and when it became an argument, the parents back home were like, oh, are you not in the UK? Carry on making money. What's the big deal? Blah, blah. So the younger sister hijacked that chemical business now, is making a whole lot of bread. Do you see? And from the email, this woman now is dealing with the trauma because her friends back home are giving her feedback that the business is now grown. That woman now has 2 trucks. She has people doing deliveries to business premises. And what they've done with the chemical business is she's now offering fumigation services and cleaning services to schools, to newly built properties, to homes. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? There's no contractual agreement. Everything was verbal. You dropped it on the laps of your younger sister. She snatched it. And that's that. Now she's here. So the bread with them here dried up, desperation kicks in and all that. Now, the husband, people here said, well, my brother, it's usually for the time being cup of tea. My brother, for the time being as a man, just get your hands on something so that cash can come in, you can support, because they're not eligible for public funds. They're not eligible. They haven't got right to public funds. So even if they're struggling to pay rent, she's come here. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that understand the immigration rules, they're not eligible for public funds. They have to pay their bills as they go. So the brother now is snookered. In the usual format, Alayela's Logba SIA license. He's working as a security guard. Now, that threw him in the deep end. He's working in a particular grocery store here in the UK, chasing after the shopping baskets and, looking at people that are shopping, whose shopping bags are blipping, running from pillar to post, being thrown around. He had a clash It's cultural difference. He had a major clash with a store manager who is only a 23-year-old. His African shoulders and ego kicked in. Like, like back home, a 23-year-old should not be able to talk anyhow to a 41-year-old. So he tried to level up, like, how dare you, my last born, you cannot talk to me like that. And HR, cultural difference is a son of a gun. So HR pulled him in. They gave him warning on the grounds of harassment and all that. They didn't kick him off, but as we speak, he has final written. Imagine you getting a job as a security guard, man, and within 1 or 2 months of working at the store, you already have a final written warning because I think he must have told the young store manager that I would tear you slap. Like, he couldn't, because of the cultural difference. He grew up back home, man. I would tear. Who's your mate? Do you know who I am? In Nigeria, you can't talk to me. I will start. Over here, man, they will label you as aggressive and intimidating. You get me? So they gave him a final written warning. The wife said he's looking for another job. So he's the brother is traumatized, man. And it's true. This is what I'm saying, that it's the cultural difference. A 41-year-old man that's just landed on the soil of this country. No, what am I saying? It's almost 2 years now, man. He's probably 42 or 43. He grew up back home. Before he could blend, it would take a while. Because I can imagine walking into a store back home, like a ShopRite or something, Darren, they call me your store manager. Who are you? I will slap you. He probably will slap the store guy and, flex on him. But you can't do that here. You can't do that here. So now, he's got all of that going on with the pressure of... So just imagine that he's reduced. And no disrespect to anybody working as a security guard. If you're earning a honest living, utmost regard to you. But just imagine, it would destroy you mentally. You will be sucked into depression. So the job that you can do around here is look after the entrance of a grocery store, chasing after shopping baskets, and, chasing after shopping bags. And you're being paid £8 or £9 an hour for it. And you have to work maybe 14 to 16 hours a day. For what? At the end of the day. And, that in itself will break you. And then you soon realize that you get that paycheck, and then the bulk of the bills sucks that money off you. And then you're left with nothing. So you soon realize that he's trapped. Now check this. The wife has finished her master's degree. Yeah? Now check this out, man. Because the wife has finished her master's degree, right? Remember I told you that she's like the academic one. They came in off the back of her application. Now, she's like a quick thinker. She's been talking to some of her friends back home because she can see the challenges, the difficulty in blending in the system, the immigration, the journey to even becoming a permanent resident. And she said in her email, she said, Phrankleen, I don't think I'm willing to pay that price of, there's like a 10 years or more journey before I can even say, she's looking at the options. When you identify that, oh, snap, it looks like I've made a huge mistake here. Now, check this out. She's calling her friends back home, and then one of her friends who knows somebody that knows somebody, they pulled strings. Now, check this out. They found, based on 3,500 times, let me say 495, I think dollars is 495. Yeah. They they found out a job with a big organization back home that was willing to pay that lady $3,500. If you convert that to naira, that would be about 1.7, roughly 1.8 million naira a month, right? Which is pretty decent. This is not word of mouth, just verbal promise or anything. The offer was on the table. So this lady said to her husband, let's go back. All right? So I can take that job, okay? I can restart the chemical business on the side. Said, let's take maybe, take the little bit of change we've got now. Let's just go back. I would jump on that job, I restart the chemical business. You be at the forefront of affairs. This story is probably one of my favorite stories in a long time. Okay? To me, if the story is as true as it presents itself, I think that's a bloody good woman. Said to her husband, I will restart, because she knows about the chemical business. I will restart the chemical business. You be in charge of it, okay? And you can take a bulk of the money for a start so that you can have money in your pocket. And then I'll join hands with you. Let me jump on that. This will rebuild ourselves. Guess what? The man selfishly said, we're not going back. Because, the government back home, blah, blah. And the lady says, stuff it, man. We were leaving there regardless of the governmental challenges and governmental letdowns and stuff. We have the window of opportunity. And these job offer, there's a window. They gave out 30 days to decide. Now, at the time that the lady sent me this email, she said, Phrankleen, I've already spent 13 days from the, said they gave me 30 days window to accept the offer. She's asking me, Phrankleen, what would you do? So the husband now is saying he's not going, that they should remain here. And then, so it became a massive argument. And he then said, you used up all my funds to come to the UK. Do you see? He said, you used up all my funds after I've spent all my money, blah, blah, blah. Now you want to run back. So the wife said she burst in tears. Like, what? It was your idea that we should travel abroad. Yeah, I like that. He's actually gaslighting her. So, and whilst all of this is going on, you can imagine family members back home, particularly his parents and her family, they're jumping on there right on the neck. Oh, why would you want to come home? Stay there. This. What is wrong with you? They're calling her demonic and all that. And she said, I want to go back. Now, she has 30 days. Check this out. Because I replied the email and I said, these job offer that you're banging on about, are you sure you're not going to jump on the plane and then you get there and then they're like, sorry, the job offer is gone? She said they have given her a provisional offer, like proper offer. She's done interview via Zoom, but they gave her, they understand that she's in the UK. She explained to them, but they gave her 30 days window. I think that's absolutely fair. She's saying this brother is saying that, he doesn't want to go back. But then the visa that you've got, the spousal visa, is off the back of your wife. So she's then said to him that at 43 and stuff, what is it that you want to do around here? The security job, you're not happy. Let's go and rebuild ourselves. He's saying that he doesn't want to go. And he wants her to remain. Now, she's saying to me, now, this was 2 days ago when I got this. So as at today, she has used up 15 days. She's got 15 more days to officially accept these offer or totally decline it. What would you do if you're a woman? They have one child. If you're in that predicament, you're here in the UK, what would you do? Would you remain, or will you jump on the plane to go accept that offer? What would you do? They are married. So Ijeoma said, I'll take the offer. Yemi said, I will go. Madam, if you can hear me, your time starts now. Love alone is insufficient in any relationship. Shared vision, purpose, values, and principles are cardinal in the selection of a partner and spouse. I would go back to Nigeria and accept the offer. It will soon become Daddy London. There's only one choice for a reasonable family. Now, I'll take the offer and leave him in the UK. Take the offer, he would join her. The dude is stuck in the case of feeling embarrassed. Yes, Lee's. But you know what, man? Again, I think these nonsense, this is what I've been talking about. Lee's gets it. You see, I don't get it, man. Yes, I'm a man. One of the best things that can happen to you, you have a good woman that gets it, that wants to build with you. What more could you possibly want? It's just ego. It's that nonsense. So I'll be embarrassed. So I remember. What would I say to people? My family is looking up to me. Blah 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 blah. I spent all this money. Oh, I brought my savings. You used up my save. No, but she didn't though. You all used it up. And then, according to the email, it was his idea. Traveling. Let's go abroad. The security job and chasing shopping baskets in a Tesco or Asda store, I think it's kind of blown the gasket in his brain. And then they put him in check when he was trying to harass, that smashed his ego to smithereens, And then he's basically soon realized that he will remain at the bottom end of the spectrum in this society because he doesn't have any professional skills or I'm sure he would have felt better. It was able to maybe get a job where he was earning maybe more. And this is what I'm saying. He can't even keep a basic job. He's now offered a CEO position and he's doing Shakara Tracy. He doesn't have money, so he's embarrassed. Yeah, but hey, man, fam, you know what? As a man myself, I understand not having money, embarrassed, but fam, the next thing to not having money at that point in your life, you have a good woman. I mean, you would know if your woman is dodgy now. You would know if you're dealing with, if I go back to Nigeria, this lady might pull the plugs on me. Or she might just switch up lanes on me. Do you know what I'm saying? I can understand that point of view. But if each person's woman is unique to them. I can't know your woman. You know the type of woman you're dealing with. Then you know the circumstances around it. And to be fair to the woman, she told him that your decision also cost me the theft of my business by my younger sister. But because I've still got some contacts and I'm confident, I can rebuild that business. He called it nonsense and whatever. But for me, at 43, in that security shirt, double-breasted security shirt, and SIA, bright blue SIA badge stuck to your arm. I just fail to see the prospect, man. Without finance, you're powerless. However, if you have a supportive partner, it makes up for a multitude of sins. A friend of mine has been through so much abroad, and his wife is amazing. That saved them. Absolutely. Honestly, they need to secure a British passport, then they can leave. Let me respond to that statement. Honestly, they need to secure a British passport, then they can leave. I think you're missing the point. they need to secure a British passport based on the current immigration system in the UK at the time of streaming this. Before they can even smell, they can even become a permanent resident. You are looking at a 10 or 11 years journey. Are you joking? That's before they can even become, that's if the immigration system favors them as they're going on that plane, on that journey. So the geezer is 43 as I speak. Yeah? Slap 10 years or 11 years on that. So he'll be 53 or 54. And then that's if they get the indefinite leave to remain. And then they can then say they want to go apply for. And then it takes 5 years. Says who? Bro, man. he's attached to his wife. Right. Okay. Let's say you're saying, I see what Ade is saying. You're saying it takes 5 years, right? Okay, for argument's sake, I'm not an immigration expert, right? Even 5 years. Bro, really? This is exactly what I'm saying, my G. You gotta be careful. Saying, I'm even telling him, I don't know where Ade saw 5 years, but I'm saying for argument's sake, let me go by your suggestion of 5 years. You think it's easy? Oh yeah, let's just secure that. Secure. But she's going to help him too. There's no life in the UK. They can build a home in their own country. I say left him. She can build a nice life. Phrankleen, I know what you're saying. Nigeria is a huge risk. Stop saying that, brother. I love you as my brother. Stop saying that. This is the colonial mindset. My bro, I sabi the challenges in Nigeria. Yeah? All of these propagation, you're not any different from the mainstream media. My bro, don't get me wrong. Nigeria has its challenges. Let's not go there tonight. I know you're not lying. But bro, there are people making stupid bread in the same Nigeria. What is this? It's a huge risk. What okay, let's try to unpack it. What is that risk that will consume them? That risk did not consume them before they abandoned everything they were building and came here. This Nigeria is a huge risk. Is the justification that we keep dishing out that makes a lot of people come destroy. Do you know that just because of the misconception about the life abroad is why some people blindly make decisions that get them trapped abroad. Let me see what he's saying. He say, who are the people making stupid bread not attached to government? That's a lie. Again, there is nepotism. There is nepotism. Listen, man. Of course, I understand the challenges about the issue of jobs. Listen to me, Ade. That's not the point. You're making good point. But listen to me. The idea that anyone and everyone that makes it in a type of business, is definitely stealing money from the government pot is a propaganda. It's a lie. Maybe you don't know. There are people that are leaving off the government pots and stealing off the government, public funds. That's a common knowledge. They're a closely knit circle. That's a lie. That's a fallacy. That's a huge lie. That's an information that's blown out of proportion. If you see somebody making it, somebody driving a 10 million naira car, it's always, they're stealing money from the government. Do you have evidence? I'm not saying that, but look at the wealthiest. Bruv, stop focusing on the wealthiest people, man. Is there no poverty in the UK? There's corruption in Nigeria. We know that. But stop this idea of, the wealthiest, they're taking money from the government. How many people do you know that's making money from the government? Somebody saying I'm doing quite well. Brother, look, man. Hey, Ade, you know what you said about the issue of job creation and stuff? Bang on the money, bullseye. You're correct. But you're blowing it out of proportion, man. They're the challenges. whatever, each to their own. I respect your views, but no. Corruption is all over the world. There's corruption in the UK. UK is a cesspit of corruption. UK is littered with poverty. The cultural design of the society, right, is why a lot of people don't realize it. You don't recognize it. What are you talking about, man? I'm not saying, look, man, don't get me wrong. I would never be in denial and tell you, oh, it's all lovey-dovey or perfect. Definitely not when it comes to Nigeria or any other African country. My G, I can tell you respectfully, there are people, I make over 150K a year here in the UK, and I still have to think about moving to Nigeria. Bruv, let me tell you, my G, if you're making 150K a year, that's absolutely fantastic for you. Your 150K, is that before tax or after tax? That's fine. But I want to tell you, there are people that smash that out of the waters and make that in a couple of months in the same Nigeria. There are people in agriculture that do it. There are people doing car businesses. There are multiple businesses. Good for you, my G. If you're making 150K a year here, I can never knock you. You're my brother. If you want to make 300,000 a year, if it works for you, you want to remain, that's fine. But about 40% tax in UK. Why do you think they brought out the IRL 35? What's all these? I make 150K. Yes, it's good money, my G. I'm not knocking you. Hear me out. But this whole idea, again, this is the problem with black folks, always very quick to throw the entire Africa and where they emanate from under the bus. The UK is better. The UK orchestrated Nigeria's failings. How many people make that sort of money in the UK a year? That's why, thank you. I did a live stream here the other day based on government data here in the UK. Yeah? Yeah? The inheritance that's been passed across in the UK in the black community is £1. Hardly any savings. Good for you, my brother. And I wish you plenty of success. And this is what I've been saying in the past. You know, when people say, oh, I'm making £200,000 a year. Oh, just like I can sit here and be saying, oh yeah, I'm a British citizen. Oh, da, da, da. Do you know there's a lot of my brothers and sisters that are living in the shadow of the system and are suffering? Let's not talk about if it's their fault that they came here blindly. That's why I'm using my voice. Should we say because, oh, we got permanent residence or blah, 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 we should turn our backs on them? Do you see how that sounds? Yeah, make your 150K a year. If the UK works for you, that's fine. All these, and this is the problem with black folks, man. Oh, these all the people that got money there, they're making money from the government. It's a lie. Yeah, that's fine for you. There are people in Nigeria that make more than you, man. Kini Babara. So what if you make 150K? You're taking the conversation somewhere else. That's good. That's good. I'll buy you your favorite drink. I'll be the one to clap my hands for you. So what? Big deal. There are people in Africa making more than that. I know someone who left the UK and went to set up about 4 or 5 bakeries in Nigeria. Do you know how much they're making per week from running bakeries? I beg you, my guy. So what if you have equities? This is what I'm saying about black folks. You see the mentality. Do you know what? So what? So what if you got equity? Big deal. What's all these the equity that I've that's what I'm saying. No one said there aren't people that make more. So what are you talking about, man? You don't get it. I'm triggered. Oh, you're saying why am I triggered? I'm actually triggered for you. Because you have a colonial mindset. Do you want me to address you now? Who cares if you're 24, you're 36? So what? You think I don't know what the challenges are? So okay. So let me address you now. So the long and short of what you're saying here, the narrative you're trying to sell us, Ade, I like it because you're challenging my thought process. So what Ade is trying to sell us here is because you're making 150K a year, good for you. If you have a good life here in the UK. So what you're saying is they should throw the entirety of Africa under the bus because you're making XYZ in the UK? Stop these Nigerian victimization by the British and move forward. No, you can't stop it. When you say stop the Nigerian victimization and move forward, no. The reason we talk about it is you need to understand how the world works, my brother. It's not about, oh, stop complaining. No, you don't understand how the world works. Britain runs Nigeria. So all of these things that you want to talk about, it's not the leader's fault. The leaders are puppets. You don't understand. So the brain drain that is in the motherland, it's intentionally designed to cripple Africa for the benefit of the West. Do you understand? That's why I'm telling you, in the long run, your children, your children's children, the generations to come, you cannot lay a claim to the West. You don't understand. Some black folks are so blind. You are blinded by your personal achievement and what you have in your bank balance. You have equity on this and this. Wait for the plan that they have in the near future for you. This is not about victim mentality and stuff. Nigeria is an orchestration of England. Nigeria is an orchestration. It's intentionally designed like that. You don't get it. Go and read about these things, my brothers, man. Go and read and get knowledge. That's what they call Western brain drain. The black race. There's a game to basically force you into a corner. You understand me? But you think success is about because of what you've got for yourself. If you're doing well, my G, I celebrate you. I repeat it. That's not the point. But you have a colonial mindset. So what? This is what I'm saying. You remember when I said on my channel, this is the problem I have with Nigerians. Oh, I'm a project manager. I'm a business analyst. I'm 36. I live in Kent. I'm making. Do you remember? This is why I use that analogy all the time. This is what's happening to black folks. You see the mindset. No, I'm not gonna block him. I'm not gonna block him. Yeah, both my parents and sisters are in Nigeria and are super high earners. So if your parents are super high earners, how about they miraculously high earners in Nigeria? The same Nigeria that you're castigating. Are your parents taking that money from the government pots unlawfully? Do you see that what you are saying now is counterproductive? No, he might as well be a smart guy, maybe making money from IT, I suspect. Or he might be in the medical field or whatever. Game with a... I like to use Kent as an example, right? Kent is a beautiful place. But you know what the problem is? Aha! You see what I'm saying? Ade is in the medical field. So he's a snob. I like to use Kent as an example. By the way, Kent is a beautiful place, right? But this is what I'm saying about black folks. The moment they taste a bit of comfortability, they talk trash. They are the ones that go to the white folks. One of the worst things you can do as a black person is to sit in the midst of white folks and be entertaining them about how bad Africa is. You are a joker. The joke should be written on your forehead. You are explaining Africa to the people that crippled Africa. The people whose bloodline crippled Africa for their own benefit. You are blowing grammar and swinging your stethoscope at work and telling them, with the Nigerian government, it's absolutely unbelievable what's going on there. You know, there are no jobs over there. It's just disgraceful, isn't it? You know, I just can't stand it. I can't move back to Africa. You know, like, do you know what I mean? And they'll be like, oh, is that right? Do people drive cars in Nigeria? They are insulting your intelligence. They know more than you do. Britain is behind. Is behind the failure of Nigeria. And so do other European countries. Do you know how many African countries that France is controlling? How much money they pull out every year? You don't... This is what I keep saying. I don't hate my people. I love you. But the colonial mindset, as long as... Look at those, you got equity. Who cares about your equity? Pass it on to your children. That's fine. That doesn't attend to the bigger picture and narrative here, man. What's wrong with you, bro? I couldn't care less if you make 200,000 per day. Make your money, enjoy your life. But there's more to life. Yes, Africa has its challenges. Oh, of course. My G, look beyond now. Look into the future. There will come a time in future where they will circumvent you here in the West. Whatever it is that you think you're making in the system, they will clamp down on it. They are already working on it, looking for ways to reduce. The old IR35, when they brought out IR35, what do you think was wrong with the system of contracting in the UK? For the UK government to roll out IR35, I think the smart people know what I'm talking about. Because black folks and Asians were dominating it. That's good for you, man. I just invested 50K in a friend's business last week. That's good for you, man. You can invest, right? Because IR35 was about black folks. Of course. You're taking so much money via contracting out of the system. One fair. You don't have a clue, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This guy is disconnected from reality. I work in the medical field. You see, that's the problem. Okay, if I ask you now one-on-one, yeah, what is it that you've done for the what are you doing? I invested blah 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 in my friend's business. Baba, Bashue, make your money. What are you doing to help improve the black community? The colonial mindset. You see what I'm saying? The a correct mindset in itself, yeah, it goes beyond whatever money you think you have. There are other people on this timeline that probably have more money than you, man. Can we focus on people who would like to go back home someday? It's honestly not for everyone. Hey, man, Florence, you know what, man? We'll always have these people, right? Come up. Even though I kind of went off tangent, it's very important. It's very important that we bang on about this. On Monday, I am going to talk about something very interesting about life in Canada. That's a very interesting topic that I'm coming to talk about on Monday. It's along the lines of this. You see, my brothers and sisters, you understand? The fingers you are licking today, right? You think you are comfortable. I'm talking to you about the bigger picture, the global agenda. You don't think there's something wrong? The West, the Chinese, they are moving into Africa, Al Kabulan. They're moving in droves. They're buying our lands. Mister, I'm a doctor in the UK. I'm making 150K. Yeah? I have equity in my house. I invested 50K in my friend's business last week. You are disconnected. What future? What would become of Africa in the near future? You don't have an idea. And these misconception of everybody that's making it in Nigeria, they are definitely stealing from the government. Just look at that statement. You think everybody on this timeline don't know that people are stealing from the government? There are hardworking people in Nigeria. Go to Nigeria. A lot of you are disconnected from reality. Go and look at people. Some people in the financial sector. There are people in IT sector in Lagos. There are people in farming. There are people in the medical field. There are people running pharmacy business. They're making crazy, even some people are selling clothing. People are selling food. Crazy, stupid money. Yes, there is nepotism. Come on, man. There are people making money from the government. We know that. But that's not the narrative. We were set up as a business. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. You see, on an individual basis, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, right? On an individual, this is what I'm saying. You might be in the medical field, of course, right? And again, you know, Our skills are here. It's heartbreaking. You see me, I'm an emancipator. My mindset, I am not your average individual. You probably can't see what I am seeing. Who is this one saying, please calm down, Frank? You can calm down. About the shout, the shank on uni. You don't understand that here, me, I'm a passionate person. Don't ever come to me, myself, making calm down, or shag banani. Don't come on my platform and tell me to. I'm a very passionate person. I'm fiery. You understand me? This is. You see, you don't understand. What I'm banging on about is about black excellence. Okay? What I'm talking about is about the future of my children, your children, our children's children. The changes we are clamoring for might not even happen in this dispensation. I want to calm down. Go and watch Teletubbies, man. You don't share now. I don't bastard. We go calm down. I mean, I don't get time. I don't get time, man. Rubbish. Calm down around the world. What are you doing to drive us forward? I need to calm down, man. Don't share. Me, there's no cloud chasing here, man. You don't like it? Go watch Teletubbies, man. Go and watch something else. Go and watch EastEnders. Buy farm equipment to lease. Join me. Match me 20K each. Put your money where your mouth is, sir. Mind, body, and soul. My sister, I love you, man. Yeah, so yeah, the story basically, I've already said it, man, before we went off tangent a bit. That's where the story ends. The lady has about 15 days to make up her mind. I was asking you people, what would you do before Ade came in with his 150K salary? And he lives in Kent. He's a doctor. It's disheartening to see people who still think like Dr. Ade. So, yeah, man, my own advice to that lady is go if you got to go, man. Go. Phrankleen, what you just said, I told my husband word for word yesterday, we must develop foresight for Africa. Our mindset is our number one weapon, and the oppressors know it. Ade and Frank, love Frank, swear, they feel you die, man. I've had to block Ade because he was saying some things. Still, he's gone, man. I was gonna leave him. He's my brother. He can have different views, but nah. Yeah. So what would you do? So, some of you said I'll say to the lady to go back to Nigeria. What would you do, man? Africa is there dancing a zonto. Meanwhile, the enemy is actively taking steps to move to Mars. Imagine I'm the one, or my bloodline are the one to be behind the destruction of where you emanated from. And then you then come to my jurisdiction. You're trying to give me Carl McNeil. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. You are trying to impress me with stories about what's going on in a place where my bloodline are the one that destroyed your house. You are trying to tell me how you're so disconnected from that place. You don't want to have nothing to do. These whole trying so hard to impress the master, trying so hard. This I'm telling you, man. I don't care if you earn £1 million whilst you're in the UK. The mindset. Have you stopped in your tracks, my brothers and sisters, to think, what would be of the future of your children, your children's unborn children? I don't care if you work for the NHS. I don't care who you work for. I don't care if you work for IBM. Like I said, get monies. If you have a bent mindset about the place that you emanated from, let's talk about the issues, man. Let's talk about accountability. I get that, man. Let's bang our heads together and talk about those charlatans. But if you're making disparaging comments, like distancing yourself, you actually think you can lay a claim to the West? There's more. Oh, my God. If we don't get our acts together, man, there's going to come a time where you as a black man will be a tenant. To be a tenant in your own land. The dynamics of everything is changing in the West. The IL-35 was done to peg down on the monies the black folks were taking home. It's long and short. There was nothing wrong before the IR35 came. Or what time the money you were pulling out of the system, because they know that money creates generational wealth, man. The system don't want it. They clamp down on it. They came out with legislations. They came out with all these jargons. They came out with all these excuses. The long and short was to cut down the government to cryptocurrency. What's the premise of cryptocurrency? What is the premise of cryptocurrency? Right? Independence. Look at the pattern of things now. It's gradually being infiltrated. Because anything that gives you control, anything that empowers you, that the government can control, they are coming. Look at cryptocurrency. You're reading all the headlines. Suddenly now, all the big corporations, everybody, it's a decentralized system. You see, the moment you say decentralized, basically, you're disconnecting yourself from what they call the norm. All the big corporations are diving in. There will come a time when cryptocurrency will just be like a normal bank account and everything will get watered down. Anything that would enrich, free you, pass on ginormous wealth to people. No. The regulations are coming gradually. It's going to get to a point where they will, every point, every direction, they will come in with heavy regulations. The banks don't like it. You take X amount of money, you put it into cryptocurrency, you come out with, boom, huge money, independence. Wow. They will clamp down on it, man. It will come to a point where the regulations would drive everything into the ground and clamp you down. I laugh at these people, man. You don't have an idea. Introduction of central bank. Exactly. Have you noticed? For those of us that live in the West, have you noticed the gradual phasing out of spending cash? If you go to Nando's, if you go to certain coffee shops, that's how it starts. Have you noticed, Mr. I earn 150K a year? Have you noticed the gradual phasing out of cash? Have you noticed? There are places you go into now and they're telling you no more cash. It's got to be electronic payment, electronic payment, electronic payment. It's intentional. It will get to a point where everything is just completely card-based or, it just 100% electronic. Why? It becomes a cashless. Thank you, Ifeanyi, my brother. Thank you. Bullseye. It's for digital footprint. So that if you spend £1 or if you collect £1, everything has a digital footprint. And they can ring fence you. Whenever they want to ring fence you, they can look at the A to Z of your finance. They can clamp down on you whenever they want. They can shut down your bank account if you piss them off tomorrow morning. Now, the simple-minded individuals would say, oh, it's nice. We've all got smartphones now. Oh, have you got your debit card? It makes it convenient. I mean, you've got your money in your bank account. You don't understand its control mechanism. Once everything is put in place in the West and it's gone round, everything has been fully digitalized, Africa will be the final place to target. They know that we don't have databases. They know they have the blueprint of everything happening across Africa. Don't get it twisted. Don't be surprised in the not so distant future when you just see that most African countries start to develop databases and you're like, oh wow, Africa is changing. Wow, wow. No, it's control mechanism. So I laugh. I laugh. QR payments on the rise. Yeah, I mean, if we talk about the advantages are they're marvelous, right? But you got to think outside the box. If everything is digitalized, there's always a governmental benefit. The government, it's just the way, the order of things. The government, must be in charge. So if you're disconnected, everybody's decentralized, you're making millions from crypto, and then the government sits in the corner. The government needs you and I to exist. So the government is like, oh, hang on, that's too much freedom going on over there. This is not even trying to castigate any government. That's how the game works. They're going to come in and say, no, we change the regulations. Oh, they're making too much bread there. There's a massive loophole everyone is benefiting from. Shut it down. Facts. I laugh. Oh, I live in Kent. I'm a medical doctor. Is that right? If you wake up tomorrow and then there's a sudden change in regulations to how much money you can pull out of your property when you sell it, or regulation changes overnight, what do? You don't understand. I'm not telling you that there isn't money in property and all this. These black folks, man, you're blinded by temporary or current comfortability, man. You can't see the future. The world has become a very small place. You can no longer hide. Thank you. Read my blog, The Psychology Behind Power. We're living in a system, it can never benefit the poor. Of course! I live in Kent. I earn 150K. I'm a medical doctor. Everybody in Nigeria there. I work for IBM. I earn £600 a day. I normally have my lunch at the top of the Shard. I have a membership card at the Savoy. Yeah, me and my wife have just gone to Malaga. I'm a data architect. I'm on £600 a day. Great if you have the skill set. That's not the problem. I repeat, I have absolutely nothing against you. I celebrate your mental prowess, your skill set. But that ain't the conversation here. You think the people paying you £500-600 a day, you think they're happy for you to pass on the wealth to the forthcoming Negro generation? Again, it's just the order of things. You get it? So rather than having a megaphone attached to your neck, use your resources to contribute to the forwardness of the motherland. If you ain't doing that, you're not interested, shut your mouth and die in Kent. Look here, man, you come here to the West. Oh, I'm enjoying oyster. Oh, in Manchester, at the blah, 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 blah hotel that Wayne Rooney eats lunch at. As a big boy, I play 9-hole golf and you fire up your own rectum. I invested £50,000 in my friend's business. Fantastic. I hope you make $500,000 out of it and more. But what are you doing to help emancipate your brothers and sisters and drive towards black excellence? If you leave these dispensation, what will become of your children in future and their unborn children and the unborn children of your children. I'm talking about black excellence. I don't care about your Balenciagas and your Ferragamos and Armanis. You drive a Range Rover. Every little conversation, your baritone is quavering. Yeah, I'm gonna be range me by black water on it. Are you? Who cares about man? And if you talk, some of you think, oh, this guy is jealous. You're twisted. Africa cannot coexist with internal enemies if it's to move forward. Vulcan. Oh, you think I hate Range Rovers? No, I don't. It's this mindset. I just look at these black people, especially Nigerians. I just think C-U-N-T and caps lock when I see them. T-W-A-T-S in the biggest caps lock when you have a conversation with them. They're so far up their backside. Once they get paid, contract money, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, they just become absolute bastards. Yes, I said it. Oh, my daughter's private school in Essex. She's the only black girl in class. Just look at your mindset. Just look at the limited amount of black children in a particular class makes you think you've arrived. Orieti Buru. In my daughter's school, there are only 16 of them in class, so that there is proper concentration. My daughter is the only black girl in there, and there's another girl called Chantel. We do meet with our parents on Saturday. We have cup of tea on there. Falake, where are you? Yesterday, I was at the basement of Selfridges. Harrods. I was in Harrods. I was enjoying lunch with my husband. With a bottle of Chardonnay. I was hanging out with the Gillington family. Our children play together. So, your surname is Adeshino. Nigeria Lotiwao. You want to be white so bad. That's the problem with some of our white folks. You so want to be white. You so want to be accepted. The mind is bent more than a zigzag, man. Oh, do you know quite a lot about IT? Do you work in IT? I have an IT background, man. I worked in IT before, man. Of course. The one that kills me is black folks entertaining white folks, telling them disparaging stories about African struggle when it was their bloodline that destroyed Africa. Do you understand? It's their bloodline that created the boundaries today in Alkebulan. It's their bloodline that kept Africa on its knees. It's their bloodline that ensured that manufacturing doesn't hold in the motherland. You are desperately tap dancing. You so want to join the clubs. Somebody that came from Ogbomoso, you're drinking tea with your pinky like that. Oh, I know. Oh, it's unbelievable. What are you at to Daru? Is that how we drink in Nigeria? I know, right? It's so funny. Really? I'm not asking you not to socialize, man. Black folks, you so want to strip your identity, bury it. You want to be white so bad. You're not. And this is not even trying to create division, but you are not one of them. You never will be. In fact, let me tell you, man. Okay, this is Britain. Britain is a host country that I live in, right? Imagine me putting so much effort I'm from Osun State, Ilesha. I put so much effort to destroy my bloodline and tear it down so that I'm accepted because I work for HSBC. I'm one of the senior business analysts. You're churning out British accent. Carl. Franklin, when was the last time you went to Nigeria? Oh, no, May, look, man. I don't really. Last time I went on holiday, I was in Florida. No, I know you went to Florida the other time, but did you go to Nigeria? No, not really, man. I don't really follow what's going on there. Do you know what I'm saying, mate? Look, man, the government, man, it's just a problem, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Or dead. What do you think is going to happen? Oh, 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 Femi's a good guy. Femi's totally disconnected from Nigeria. Oh, dead. You're tap dancing. Oh, I'm streaming from my phone today, man, Jerry. I'll come back. If I was streaming from my DSLR, you can dial in. Sometimes I would catch conversations by some of my brothers and sisters. The tap dancing is unbelievable. Black folks. I'm not saying, hear me out, man. Let me put a disclaimer. I'm not saying you want to hang out with white folks, socializing, you go to pubs, and, if you got white friends, it's great. Your cup of tea, man. That's not what we're saying here. But you see, I don't have any white friends. If I have, white friends, let me clarify this. There is, somebody said I've not taken off earrings and adjusted bra today. There is no way I am going to tear my integrity or say disparaging stuff because I'm socializing with a bunch of white friends. They probably will run away from me. Because, you know why? If somebody's like, oh, do you know what I mean? Oh, last time I went to Nigeria, yeah? Oh, do you know what I mean? Oh, like, the Nigerian government is a joke. Do you know what I mean, Phrankleen? Oh, I will educate him. I will say your bloodline, they did X, Y, Z. Don't make disparaging comments. Of course, you might have experienced X, Y, Z going through immigration, or you went somewhere, the electricity let you down, or the roads and all that. But the dysfunction that we are dealing with was because of X, Y, Z, this generational problem that ran for more than 60 years. When Lord Lugard was there, X, Y, Z happens. I don't care if they go red in the face. The truth is the truth, and I will stick to my guns. Do you understand? That's how you handle it. I don't pander. I am not going to talk trash about my motherland just so I get accepted. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want the pat on the back, man. I am not your Negro. I am not your Negro. I never will be. Never. I'd rather die a honorable man than bend over or sell out or strip myself of my integrity. Never. Never. I am black and proud. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like, let me tell you, a true Englishman, right? They're proud. They're proud of England. They carry their flags. They beat their chest. If you look at that constructively, without bias, what's wrong with that? A true Brit, come on England. You see them during football. They, Great Britain. They say it, go red in the face. They clench their fist. Oh, you goddamn right. Why shouldn't they? But you, the Negro, the moment you get a British passport, look at my brothers and sisters. Let me not say too much, man. Just look at the Windrush generation. Look in that direction. Tells you all you need to know. Look at the generation, the Windrush generation, our brothers and sisters. Just look at them. There's something fundamentally wrong. It's okay if you get your British passport. It's okay if you get your American passport. Your green card allows you to navigate through the system and get stuff done, all right? But, you see, if we're having this conversation where we're still seeing these things as amongst ourselves, oh, thank you, Shaz, Cancer Health Tips, for the membership. Thank you, my sister. Right? If we're still having this conversation amongst ourselves, whereby We are upholding. Oh, I've got a British passport. This is black among black folks now. I've got a British passport. I'm a permanent resident. Oh, you haven't got papers, and I think I'm better than my brother. Did you hear what I said? Because you are an American citizen, you treat your own brother like a doormat, your own sister like a doormat. You treat them like a used tampon because you think you're better than them. That's a slave mentality. It is. That's why we lack unity. Some of you for self, for that selfishness, to make yourself feel better, is toxicity. You like to see your people suffering. You even threaten them. Just ordinary argument over a plate of jollof rice or a football match between Arsenal and Chelsea. You threaten them with phone calls to immigration if they don't sit tight. How long for, man? Let me see. There's a particular comment in there. Phrankleen, just a honest question. What is the true solution? We all came here for greener pastures. Should we live a minimalist life just to be considered Nigerians? That's subjective, man. A minimalist. Oluayo, thank you for the super chat. A minimalist life, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't need anybody to consider you as Nigerian. You don't need anybody's validation. Do you see what I'm saying, my brother? Coming here for greener pastures, of course, that's why most people came here. And then you meet the roadblocks and whatever. You build your way to the top. Whatever works for you. But you see, the mind of being pro-black is what a bunch of our people lack. The average black person, as long as I've got X, Y, Z going for me, I'm making X amount of money, I'm good. It's the selfishness mentality. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Similarly, ain't nothing wrong with the way Buhari supports his people over other ethnic groups. Yeah. Let me see. Now I see why congregation, they make pastors rich. I see. Oh, well. So, that's me done. I hope we can get better, man. I did kind of triggered me, took me off tangent, but I kind of say thank you for doing that because, took the conversation to a slightly different this. Think about the future, man. This conversation is multifaceted. I'm an emancipator, and I've never apologized for that. I'm pro-black. I love my folks. And all I'm trying to do, if I'm using my platform and the entirety of what I've banged on about more than an hour resonates with at least one person, I think I would have done an amazing job. Don't you think? Oh, hang on. Carl, please read Carl McNeil's comment that says we must engage enlightened whites. Where is Carl? Carl, where is your comment? I'm looking for it, brother. Where is it gone now, man? We must engage and befriend enlightened whites. I have friends from college and medical school who I discuss racial matters as openly as my black ones. Hey, Carl, let me say this. We must engage and befriend enlightened whites. Enlightened in what? In what regard? You know what, man? Engaging and befriending, white folks, man. That's not for me to decide for anyone, okay? But let's zoom out, Carl, my brother. Let's just zoom out. What black folks are up against is white supremacy. So the white friends that you have whilst you are still battling at the bottom end of the spectrum, how is that helping us? They might be the children from the bloodline or whatever. So, in the wider context, how are they going to help us? You can be friends with whomsoever. So, you can marry whomsoever. That's not for Phrankleen to decide. That's not my place, That's your choice. But I'm just looking in the wider context. Because power, finance, Okay, quick example before I drop the shutters on this. So here in the UK, look at the black community. Regardless of who you're married to, what type of friend, maybe you have a white friend, an Asian friend. Let's laser target our focus on the black community here in the UK, right? Look at it very well. Look at it very, very well here in the UK. Where are the black powers? Where are the strong men and women? What departments can you turn to, in terms of driving towards black excellence? Where are they? Black people don't have power. It's just fact. Am I making sense? Absolutely. I'm all about we're up against a system, not individuals. Thank you. I think that summarizes it. Okay? So who you think you align with on the ground level is totally irrelevant. At the pinnacle of affairs, at the top, it's about the people that run the affairs and make decisions that affect us at the bottom of the spectrum. Phrankleen, we should have sessions that talk specifically on how we can drive our race forward, actionable context. Annie Oluche, I agree. You know what, man? My brother Kaizo, probably going to be, I'll see if Kaizo might come on during the week and stuff. It was meant to come in this weekend. My plan changed. You see, I like what you said, the actionable context of things. Before we start to unpack those, I will tell you one thing, man. The major ingredient before we start layering everything else on top of it, or start to dissect and break into or look into other facets or segments, and how do we bring it in? The major framework that we have to build on is unity. Trust me. You see, the foundation, because I know if we put our heads together, there's so many brilliant black folks. Some of you are listening, you're watching this, you might say, oh, Phrankleen, we should do this, we should do, there's endless ideas if we're talking about black excellence. But the framework, the foundation that all of these will sit upon or should sit upon is togetherness. And what do I mean by togetherness? You see, the mindset of the average black person should be attuned to automatically, instinctively gravitating towards your own kind. If I'm just walking down the road, going for a walk, minding my business, and a fellow black person adjacent to me across the road is being assaulted, manhandled, let's say by police officers or something. Now, it could possibly be that that person broke the law, or there's genuine grounds that they should be arrested. I'm just saying. But to make sure that their rights are not being obliterated, that they are dealt with fairly, maybe whilst being interrogated by the police and stuff like that. You see, black people in the jurisdiction should be instinctively gravitate towards it, rather than what most of us do is we see that and you just, you walk away. You go in the other direction. We run. I've said it before, we can sit in the room, have a bunch of black people talk about, oh, this is happening to us, that. Tell the same black people that this brother has a court hearing tomorrow morning. Let's show up and lend him support. They go that way. Do you understand what I'm saying? Every other race, regardless of what their goals are, maybe in the short term or in the long term, instinctively, white folks have togetherness. Because check it out, man. Even as a couple, husband and wife, you realize that if there is a true emotional amalgamation, it's always very easy to sit down and say, hey, babe, let's do X, Y, Z together. Let's achieve this goal together. Somebody said, I would definitely support Phrankleen. Eventually, so how do I do that? Registrations, how? What are you talking about, Ibukun? What is it that you want to support? You see what I'm saying? I keep going back to the mindset. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Stop tap dancing. Gravitate towards your own kind. What does it matter? I'm a Pan-Africanist. What does it matter if my brother next to me is Ghanaian? We need to drop all the mental and generational toxic barriers. If a Ghanaian brother is going through something, what does it matter if you're Cameroonian? What does it matter if you're Jamaican? What does it matter if that's my sister who is an African American? Rather than calling her names, calling her Akata, calling them all the disparaging names, why don't we fuse in together? Because we're all Africans. If you have that fundamental mindset in place, we can get a lot of things done, man. We'll be able to kill off mistrust amongst ourselves. We can then start talking about finance and build on it and, get better and help the generation, that's yet to come. A lot of these brilliant ideas that I have, they probably wouldn't happen in this dispensation. It's nice that people are waking up one step at a time, but some of these that you would love to see tomorrow morning, realistically wouldn't happen in my lifetime. But if we lay good foundation, our children, your children, mine, can jump on it. There's this MG, type in blah, blah, blah. I've kind of blah, blah blessed you with the block button. All right? There's zero tolerance for that type of behavior on this platform. If I had to see you in person, I'd have given you some nice words to help you, hopefully. All the blah, 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 blah. I hope you find happiness in your life, okay? So that's me done. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Hit the like button. There's about 681 of you watching. Smash the like button. Hell yeah. If you've got any stories for me to give consideration to, send me an email to foodchannel1960@gmail.com and forward and upwards only to Black Excellence. It's your boy, Phrankleen. I'll most definitely catch you in the very next one. Peace and love, man. Bye-bye.